Hearty welcome to the delegates of NatCon 2020 National IMA Conference. The largest professional body in the country is Indian Medical Association with nearly 4 lakhs of doctors. Now I am going to address to the young medical graduates and JDN and MSN about the changing nature of the medical education and healthcare in India. What you have been told, what you have been experiencing, what you are dreaming to experience is going to be a little different. That is what I am trying to convey to all of you. This topic, my lecture will cover all these parameters about the health education and the undergraduate, postgraduate and the professional issues and how to take it forward. Now the medical education, the basic medical education, we modern medicine doctors have is MBBS, all of us know. Yesterday there was less clinical, less applied medicine, more of a theory. But today we are on a competency-based curriculum from September 2018 onwards, and you have a NEET, then only you can enter into undergraduate examination. Courses. After that you have an exit, that is a qualifying examination. Earlier it was simple house urgency, after that you will be qualified. Now before registration you need to do that, and we are taking some efforts to combine the final year examination with the exit examination. Then for post-graduation, you have a postgraduate NEET, and then you do the post-graduation, and you have the MC Act 1956, which has been scrapped, and the National Medical Commission Act 2019 is in place. National Education Policy 2020 has come, and now it is under circulation. And the greatest now surprise is Ayurveda is trying to offer MS degrees to his people. This is a simple bird's eye view of the undergraduate and postgraduate seats in India and USA. The numbers might have changed, but it is only a gross one. I just put it here just to show that in all the developed nations, the undergraduate seats are less than the postgraduate seats. You see that in India, there are around 50,000 seats, but now it is 80,000 as on date. But in the USA, it is only 19,000. Whereas postgraduate seats in India, it is 38,000. Today, it is 40,000. Whereas it is around 47,000. And these are the various subspecialty in which courses are available. Why I am trying to say is this is a marked difference which has a bearing on the healthcare of our nation. See, this is exactly the current data as per the National Medical Commission. There are 559 colleges with 82,950 seats, and the postgraduates are about 44,000. Annually, about nearly 40,000 MBBS graduates are sitting idle at home or working somewhere as a part-time or sitting in the library. Whereas about 7,000 to 10,000 foreign medical graduates are coming up, and 25% of them only get the screening test passed, and the remaining around 40,000 people of that side is still remaining idle. But the government says there are less number of doctors to work in rural areas. That is where we are posting Ayurvedic. What is this paradox? I don't know. As all of you know, the most burdening education in the world is our medical education. After +2, you will have to undergo 11.5 years studies. You complete your specialty. The burden of NEET is also there. And can we do? There was a question with one of young medical graduates during the agitations in our city, Tuticorin Medical College. Sir, why should we do MBBS? We can do a BAMS, which is a 4-year course. There is no big need there. We can go for MS Ayurveda and I can be a surgeon. I will be under CCIM, no NMC, no court, no legal activities. I was not able to answer to this candidate. Now, after MBBS, what usually all of you do that? You go for a PG, either in a government institution or private institution, or you will go for a postings, either government postings or corporate hospitals or central government institutions or administrative posts. There are many doctors who have taken up IAS and IPS, or you may sit in a private practice or a family. Already your father, mother are doing practice, you may join there. And post-graduation, there are broad specialities and subspecialties. Diplomas, which is coming down now, degrees being promoted. Now NMC and National Board are again thinking of a diplomas. Can be in broad specialities like medicine, surgery, gynecology. Can be in subspecialties, which can be non-clinical also. A National Board has, broad specialities and subspecialties. And there are other specialities also on the administrative side: research, public health, medical biotechnology, nanoscience, and medical science and technology, and a knowledge process, industrial medicine, and occupational medicine, healthcare, IT. Of course, politics is always open for doctors. All of us know there are many doctors available, and the business side is also open. I have seen many doctors who have completed their degrees, post-graduation, but they are busily plunged into business. You can also go into army, you can go into clinical research or healthcare administration, public health, radiation medicine. Nutrition is also another, promising, specialty now. There are now distant educations available, which is picking up now, thanks to COVID and our Honorable Prime Minister, who is supporting digital education. Now all the universities of our country, at least 30 universities, have been requested to have online educations. In India, IMA CGP has an university, IGNOU has an university, St. Peter's has an university in India, and overseas in Taxila in South Africa, and then UK, Australia, UK, USA, lot of online educations are available. MCI is yet to approve, whereas UGC and WHO listed universities are approved always. And you can also plan for a study overseas. You can go to UK, write a PLAB, and you can go to a Royal College exam, London, Edinburgh, Glasgow, and Dublin. And USA, you'll have to pass the USMLE, take AB, the board degrees in various specialities. Australia, you can go to Royal College. New Zealand also, you can go to Royal College. These are the various ways of obtaining postgraduate educations for our modern medicine graduates. And placements, how you can have a placement. It can be a government placement. You can go to a UPSC, you can go to medical services, railway corporation, central health services. You can go to defense, civil services. IMA is recommended equivalent to IAS, IMS, Indian Medical Services, which is being seriously considered by the government, probably will be available soon. Or you can go over to the state government appointments, you can go for medical college and a PhD or district level or private hospitals, or you can go in for your self-employment or a solo practice, a family business, or you can be a starter in rural. Many of the doctors about 50 years ago used to go and settle in rural areas and will have a very busy practice, or urban, or can have corporate. You have a happy choice. But I would like to stress, adopt it with the mind. Whichever you want to take it up, take it up. But you will have to adopt it with the mind, but not with money. Then your success will be difficult. Dear colleagues, one interesting fact and very important concern is 80% of the healthcare needs only primary care. Only 20% needs tertiary care. All our young youth are lured by this 20%. Only 20% settle for primary care. I always used to say it is not by choice. They don't choose a primary care, but out of chance, nothing is available, they go and settle. Healthy India can always occur only adopting primary care. You see, every developed nation, the strength of healthcare is in primary care, which is needed by 80% of the population. These are the legalities. The MCA Act 1956 says MBBS is a basic modern medicine qualification. Constitution says in Article 21, right to life. Constitution in Article 14 says equality. But does it happen today? That is a major question. These are a few, I happen to meet a few healthcare experts, and these are the views they express. Whether primary care is going to Ayush, because all peripheral areas only Ayush are being posted. In this so-called wellness centers, Ayush people are only posted. Modern medicine in 2030 will not exist, go for an extinct. This is their doubt. I very well appreciate it, and primary care has become a blind spot. Integrated or hybrid doctors are the future. NMC will be scrapped in 2030, and all doctors in India will be under CCIM, Central Council of Indian Medicine, Indigenous Medicine. These are all the questions. Now, we will have to find out where we are and which is right, which is not right. Why these questions have been raised based on the current education scenario. Some of you might have gone through the National Education Policy 2020. It has pluralism, it has integrated doctors, multiple lateral entries. Anytime you come in, anytime you go out. No medical universities in 2030. That is why they feel modern medicine will cease to exist beyond 2030. CCM has notified MS for Ayurveda to perform surgery, all surgeries. I mean, eye surgeries, ENT surgeries, and then chest surgeries, liver surgeries, intestinal surgeries, urological, or anything you can do. You do an Ayurveda MS and do that. Ayush are posted in PSCs and wellness centers. Niti Aayog has formed 4 committees to integrate medical education, no strengthening of primary care with modern medicine. And how was the position of the doctors in healthcare delivery yesterday? There was only one doctor, only one qualification, MBBS, he was a GP. Diagnosing all diseases, managing all diseases, and performed surgeries, and then conducted deliveries, and then managed children. Doctors worshipped like God and commanded respect in family, society. He was a family member, he was a friend, philosopher, and guide. The healthcare was available, accessible, affordable, appropriate, and acceptable. What is the situation of doctors today? Healthcare today, poor image. Earlier, a doctor goes, the entire people on the rows will stand up and worship. Here, very poor image. No UG training in family medicine. Medical colleges, postgraduates, we don't know. No glamour for family medicine. Patients are demanding, expectations high. I used to say, patients pays in rupees and expect dollar comfort. Poor communication skills, hospital-based care, teamwork, corporate mania. This is a changing scenario of healthcare. Is it good or right? We'll see that. Now the patient-doctor relations are so bad. In Japi, I wrote in 2000 that medicine today revolves around the anxiety. Patient anxiety of death and disability, and doctor's anxiety of having to do the right thing and also to do is right. It is not on the saving the patient's life. Why this U-turn has come? Doctors favor specialization. Patients want specialists. Doctor-patient relations are bad. Media is negative. Doctor does enormous things, saves life. Innumerably. Nothing comes in the media. When one error comes, that is only projected in the media. Poor communication skills of doctors. Today, we are not taught, of course, now of the competency-based curriculum, the communication skill have come, true, with great pursuance by IMA, this has come. No man in India budgets for health. Very few people only have an insurance. They are not accepting the treatment failures and death. They feel once they have come to the doctor, only one outcome they want. They want the patient life to be saved. There are any number of laws, but their implementation is biased and no training in family medicine. Where profession ends and industry starts. See, government expects that doctors should have the ethical practice and the empathy and sympathy as has been described by the Medical Council of India. But courts say that doctor is a service provider patient as a consumer. Here is the problem. Our Medical Council of India teaches us to be on the profession. Court deals us as a, industry, where then the ethics are different. In professional ethics, we need to abide by, MCA. Industrial ethics, it's fine. You can do anything. Their money is the only, criteria. You invested money, you are going to take back money. But these two, this is the conflicts. These are the conflicts in the medical profession. Regulation of the profession, whether it is under-regulated or over-regulated. Chief Justice of Cochin, Shri Basan said, there are plethora of laws and regulations. 72 laws are there upon the medical profession. He says it is over-regulated. And I happened to meet a lot of young aspirants in medicine, and I happened to meet one of the boys, and he was, I was interacting, and he said, I joined MBBS courses to save money, to save many lives. Now I think only life to save is only my life. And medical profession has been reported to be as a business with an endangering business. Why venture into it? That is what doctors feel. Only future will answer. This is a pediatrician who has written this song. That is, are you a doctor? A lot of tension, too much of work, family life, BP, sugar, yearly bonus, joke and monthly income very low, personal life is lost, weekly off. You never get it. This is what is the current scenario of the doctors, but doctors are still doctors. We are all working hard to save human lives, but patients have become consumers. Now, the key current issues on the healthcare, having discussed about medical education, now we are, looking into an overview of the healthcare issues. CPA, Consumer Protection Act. No profession is under Consumer Protection Act except medical profession. There is National Education Policy, which I told you. Now, MCA has been scrapped on XRY reasons. Our National Medical Commission has come. Totally a bureaucratic body. And in 2020, Ayush has proposed MS. As I said, 72 laws are there. All of them, breed corruption. There is a lot of criminalization of the medical profession. Errors are common in every profession, including judiciary. But no profession is under CPA. Why medical profession is allowed? Recently there is a saying that it is, medical profession is out of CPA, but we are yet to confirm it. And in summary, these are the, issues on the health scenario today. Patients are demanding, governments are negative, and the media is negative. 24 hours working, legal scenario is bad, violence is too much, but the payment is very poor. And the one word about healthcare violence. Healthcare violence, I've been in practice for more than 45 years. My thinking or conceptualization is patient don't want to pay. When somebody has died, they don't want to pay because they don't have a budget for health. They are not accepting or failing to accept death. And they damage hospital property, manhandling, murdering as always, has come. There is a hospital protection law, but still it is not implemented. And we declare healthcare institutions or hospital to be declared as a protected zones. There are all complications described in our textbooks of medicine. You will all be very much familiar. It is being marketed as negligence of doctors by the media. You can understand the background of this statement, very important statement. What we declare as complications, media and public take it as negligence. And legally we are, put into trouble. There is a lot of depression and burnout. From Boston, there is a statement that, the suicide among doctors are more because of depression and burnout. And Indian doctors also have it, especially after this COVID. Lot of depression are there. Common in young physicians. See, I used to say always depression is when there is a mismatch between your expectation and realism. You feel that you will be hailed like a great, God or something like that when you become a doctor. When you are not being given that position, probably you automatically go into depression. Now, for that, we need to only keep our expectations in par with the current scenario. The basic fault which I would like to very strongly say, and I have stressed in many occasions also, the science of medicine is being taught in medical schools, but the art of practicing medicine is not taught. Treating disease is different from managing a patient, relative, and bystanders, and therefore NMC must reorient its curriculum and training, which has started happening. I think has to be activated. Now, as young medical graduates, what we should do? We should empower yourself. See, there are a lot of lacunae in the system, or with the government, or with the society, which we doctors cannot, set right. What we can do that is, we can empower ourselves. That is what I am trying to say. We'll have to be competent. We'll have to be knowledgeable. We should know our limits. Be compassionate, communicative, documentation, proper counseling, and you should be transparent, avoid dichotomy, learn the laws and abide. Be prepared to manage crisis and violence. Once it has come, instead of suffering, always think, X fellow will go into violence. Be ready to manage. One word about communication skills is very important, which we doctors lack. We have a lot of scientific knowledge, but communicating with the patient and matching with his expectation can be a verbal or non-verbal. And we'll have, especially sensitive issues, we'll have to address to the wavelength of the patient. Doctor-patient communication affects the outcome of medical care. This is a historical statement which is always true. Now the legal side is now and then coming to doctors' safety also. It says there are many verdicts which have said that no one can expect a doctors to stay with the patient all the time. Consumer Court says doctors also need trust and human. There are positive statements also. Hindu has written an article, why blame the doctor for the ills in the system? And there is a statement blaming doctors for costly healthcare is like blaming pilots for costly flight. Flights are costlier. The pilots are not responsible. Like that, healthcare is costlier. Doctors are not responsible. And there is a statement in the US that the patient treated by Indian doctors have lower death rate. This is the capacity and strength, and then the results given by our Indian doctors. Indian Medical Association, I would like to put only one word. It is the largest professional body in the world, global. You have now segments for women, we have segments for medical students, junior doctors, we have schemes for doctors, academic wings for GPs and specialists, and hospital board. You will have to join IMA because IMA is the only patron who can safeguard you in your professional issues. What will be the future? We have seen yesteryears, we have seen what is currently we are facing. Future is digital, ladies and gentlemen. You will have digital learning, and you may not have your anatomy, bodies to teach you. Simulator, skill labs will be there, and undergraduate medical education, postgraduate medical education will be online, and e-university will be available. E-medical school will also be available, and the healthcare that we offer also is going to be digital. I think during my first video consultation with the Honorable Prime Minister, I wanted him to make telemedicine legal. Very next day he made it legal. Today digital health is order of the day. The way in which you treat the patient and offer healthcare is has gone digital. Why we want digital health is cost is low, quality is good, equity is there, access and availability of skilled resources are there. For example, there is one doctor, he can take care of the entire nation, and one teacher who can teach all the 500 medical college students. That is the greatest advantage of using skilled sources. And in rural areas, our father of our nation, Gandhiji, said India lives 70% in villages, very difficult to reach. That is a great problem the government is putting upon us. Nobody goes to rural area. Nobody goes to rural area. Here we can definitely, connect it through internet, and doctors can definitely offer their best care. Initially, it was there on the desktop. Now it has gone to mobile. Everybody has 2-3 mobiles in their hand or in his hand. all healthcare can be done through a mobile health that is called as an mWealth. This was the doctor status yesterday. Today, doctors are being beaten and murdered, and we want healthcare tomorrow to again change like this. What can we do for that? Primary care, strengthen primary care, universal health coverage. Our PM has given an ultimatum 2025. It is not built on tertiary care. We will have to build it on primary care. But we don't have a department of family medicine in the medical schools in undergraduate. Then how people will adopt. I return to our Honorable Prime Minister, Health Minister, let us see. No postings in rural posting and no post-graduation positions in the health system. There is a physician, surgeon, like that, family physician. That position with remuneration has to be available. A healthy nation should have health as a fundamental right, which we have been stressing for a long time. Health budget should be about 1.25, should become at least 5% of GDP, and primary care, emergency care should be available for all, and the healthcare must be structured. Continuum of care has to be there. Cordial relations must be there. ICT must be there in healthcare. Only primary care strengthening can achieve a healthy nation. And there was a seminar, a health summit, wherein David Shetty and we were there, and he spoke that empower the MBBS doctor. We say MBBS doctor is a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, but we don't permit him to do anything. He doesn't do any even small surgical procedures on a normal delivery, on normal procedures. If you empower and give more power to doctors, the health will improve. Very critical suggestion, but has to be, thought about it. What is the wish of doctors in India? That is, health should become again a fundamental right. Some of you may not be aware of it, what it is, but these are all constitutional issues. And then we'll have to, health must become a concurrent subject, and you must modify the medical education suiting to practice. Healthcare must be streamlined as primary, secondary, tertiary. Today, for a headache, the patient chooses to go to a neurologist and spends 50,000 rupees and says that healthcare is costly, which a simple X-ray sinus, a GP can clear it in about 300 to 400 rupees. Therefore, primary, secondary, tertiary streamlining is needed. Single window of loss, adequate capping of the compensation, and affordable costs in the various scheme, and health insurance should include primary care also. Now, what young medics to do? Because today it's a session to orient our young medics of our nation. First of all, have a self-confidence that I can do. And communication skills have to improve. You need to communicate with the patient in his or her wavelength, and your competency you must improve. I always used to say, never munch more than what you can chew. And you must have the knowledge and skills. Without that, don't touch. Patient-centered care. It is not a disease-centered care. You'll have to know the laws and abide, prepared to face violence, have an ethical practice, join IMA, focus on primary care, stop luring on tertiary care. Everybody, can't do a, percutaneous coronary intervention or a stenting or CABG. There are a lot of areas which you can do. Always fix and position your future. Be positive and be brave. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is the way forward? Primary care is right to life. Universal primary care, a national responsibility, and then empower MBBS doctors in primary care. Rural health care is a governance issue. There are any number of doctors available, but they are not recruited. There are no vacancies. Universal health coverage is only built on primary care and not on hybrid doctors. Primary care in India to be offered by modern medicine qualified doctors only, and not by OIs or hybrid doctors. Hence, strengthening primary care with modern medicine in India is an emergency and need for moving toward healthy India. And this is our Honorable Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, who himself is a doctor. Sure, he will raise up to his voice and see that the medical education and healthcare in our great nation is restructured and strengthened. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.